morning. It's Friday, October 19th, and I'm going to talk a little bit about story structure and do a little story time as well. Updates on my flash fiction short story series based on the Roll20 game, and talk a little bit about the collaborative storytelling that I try to do with my players. This is my rebranded My Second Universe. So from just a patron update to something a little meatier. I'm into the second act of my novel Valkyrie of Desire, getting towards the pinch point, which is a halfway point between the second act. There's 4 acts total. There's it's all about equal parts, and the pinch point maintains a level of tension. I think of it as a line to from just a rope, and how it will sag in the middle, and if you have more parts kind of pulling it up, more support, like a bridge with more support. That's what I see the pinch point, and I appreciate the more structured approach, the outline that I've taken with this book. It's kept me on task and it has me going a lot faster than with the previous 2 books that I've published. I also have this last book that I published, self-published, going to be submitting it maybe this weekend to my local library. They have a local author support competition kind of a thing, so hopefully that will be accepted. It's maybe a bit adult themed, may be politically incorrect, and maybe passed for reasons that that don't reflect the quality of writing, but hopefully it'll be appreciated and accepted, and I will get a lot more eyes on it through the library. The short story, I was referring it to flash fiction pieces, but since it's in parts and kind of ongoing series, switching to calling it short stories. Moving to part 2, first part being Jabberwaki, the empty room. Second part will be continuing on the story based on the game session, which will be a fun psychological exploration of the good and evil in ourselves, and kind of a classic if that's separated and physically manifested. A story just from me to you that I wanted to share, given the season, the theme of the season. It's something I heard when I was many years ago. It was a village that didn't cry, villagers that had culturally lost the interest in crying, the ability to cry, and I heard it had to do with a moth that would be attracted to the scent, the salt of tears, and would flap and would land right on the tear ducts, and people would be covering their eyes, and it would make them cry more. So it was this like autocatalytic thing, and they would just have their eyes covered with moths and just like fluttering. They would just be landing and sucking on the tears. So children learned early. Parents would put them outside. You're like, stop crying, I'm gonna put you outside, and the moths are gonna get you. And you just can imagine like the bugs, and it was just something that really affected me, and I just didn't cry for years until I saw Tombstone. And it was funny because I came out of the movie theater and a moth was fluttering, and it reminded me of the story, so maybe it's true. Um, Collaborating with my players makes it exciting for me as a game master. I've got a player that's very interested in powering up and getting some exciting equipment that is in theme with his character and his story. Now, it's not just a min-max thing. There's some price to pay. He's got to have an adventure, an accomplishment to achieve it. But I encourage that in my players. If they're not happy with the constraints of their class, the rules of the game, the items that they have, they can push. They can engage with me and storytell with me, and I encourage that. But I like to balance it with a little bit of consequence. Give a little, get a little, and makes it more fun for everyone. Have a great week, and coming up will be at least Jabberwaki Part 2. I don't know if I'll get the Jabberwaki Part 1 is still being in the queue for editing, but that should be out in the next day or so. And then Jabberwaki 2 hopefully will be out later this week. More chapters of Valkyrie of Desire probably next week. Have a great morning.